Salams team, hope each and every one of you are doing really well. So I haven't had a chance to meet some of you recently, and over the last week we've had some crazy things happening, countries closing, borders closing, markets crashing, businesses closing, and there's so much negativity out there right now. There's so much scaremongering as well, and because we're in it and we're watching the news all the time and we're worried naturally what's going to happen to us, right? What's going to happen because of COVID? What's going to happen to our families? What's going to happen to us? And the things which really kills us is uncertainty, because what uncertainty causes is stress. So everything that we've been through in all of our classes, everything, all the talks, all the mental prep we've done, that it's been preparing us for times like this. And this is now when you need to dig into yourself to be able to find the best version of yourself, so you can now be able to get yourself and your family through this very tough time. And how do I think that we can make this work the most is two things. Number one, that Allah only gives us things when there's a gift inside of it. And what if we could try and find the gift right now in what we have? Maybe you're home right now and you can't go to work because you're self-isolating, or you're meant to work from home, or whatever it may be. But there's always a gift in it. What if the gift in that can be that you can spend more time around the people you love, the time you've wanted to spend for some time, but you haven't been able to do that? And I always say that in everything that we're given, in everything Allah gives us, there's a gift, there's a gift, there's a gift, there's a gift. In the deepest times of worry, in the deepest stresses of life, there's always a gift. And when you unlock the gift, you unlock the treasure. So maybe the first thing we need to do is just look and see what is the gift inside of this, that we can, the thing we wanted to do the most, that maybe now is the time we can do it. Number two, that in our classes, I've always told you about the most important thing that we can do is to actually be able to control our mental state, right? Because the way you think every day there's a part of the brain called the RAS, the reticular activating system, and it's part of the conscious part of the brain. And when you're focused on good things, it allows good thoughts through. And when you're in panic mode, it sends panic thoughts through. So right now, the most important thing we can do is be able to control our mental state. And how do we do that? Again, you've heard this before, but I'm going to tell you, because now is the time when we really need it. It consists of three things: the way you control your mental state, the way you control your state, the way you turn up to in life, the way every day you are, is about three things. Number one, it's what do you focus on? So at times like this, most people are focusing on what they can't change and what could go wrong. But what if we could change our focus, and what if we could actually focus on what we can change and what we have got, what has gone right? See, because what you focus on, that's where energy flows, and that's what actually happens in your life. So right now, what if we can focus on things which we can change, things we can do, the people we can help, all the gifts we have, all the bounties Allah's given us, everything, our health. What if we can focus on all of this? Then the first thing is that our mental state will change, and we'll turn up to in life in a much better way. We won't be stressed, we won't be anxious, we won't be worried. But when we focus on gratitude, when we focus on the things Allah's given us, when we focus on what we have, then the whole mind changes, right? That's what prayer is all about. Prayer is not about asking, it's about thanking. So what if we could go to this place of gratitude at times like this? I think it'll unlock a lot of treasures in our life. Number two, it's what language do we speak to, and what language do we speak to ourselves in? So right now, a lot of the language is, what if it goes wrong, and what if I lose my job, and what if I get sick, and what if this, and what if this, and what if this. And when you come from a place like that, the most likely thing is going to happen is you're going to find ways to actually make that happen. So the second thing is change the language you speak to yourself in. Tell yourself that it's a great time to be alive. These are unprecedented times. These are times when you get through this, you can get through anything. Most wealth is built up at the toughest times in the world. This is what's going to make you stronger. And if you can get through a time like this mentally and physically, then there'll be no other barriers in your life. Maybe if you spoke to yourself in that language, then everything's going to change. And number three, it's your physiology, the way you treat your body throughout this thing. So we know right now that the better immune system you have, then the more you'll be able to fight off anything which is going to come to you. So what we've been doing in the classes, the press-ups, the sit-ups, the crunches, the plank, the wall stuff, everything we've been doing is so important right now. Make sure that you've got a great physical regime. Maybe if you're home right now because you're not going to work, maybe it's time you went to the gym a bit longer. Maybe you went for that extra run every day. Make sure you're running every day. Make sure your 10,000 steps is there. Your immunity is so important. The key to your immunity is your physical exercise, the amount of energy you have. So maybe right now, up the ante, make sure you're doing your 10,000 steps. Make sure you're doing, 30% of them under pressure. Make sure you're doing, the exercise regime we had on the last day when I was there. Use that. Just make sure that you're eating well, you're exercising well every single every single day. You know, and when you're stressed, the cortisol level in your body spikes up, and what cortisol does is that suppresses the immune system as well. So right now should be a time where, you know, think about what you think about. Train your mind every single day. That there's so much negativity in the news, you know, with everything closing around us, so much uncertainty. It's so difficult to stay positive. But this is the time when everything which we've done in our classes has to come alive. This is when the real person comes alive, because we've got people out there we need to help. Remember, life's about service. This is what we're about. You can only help someone when you're in a position to help yourself, and then we can go and help other people. So make sure that you use this time, focus on yourself, have the right thoughts, the right language, you know, make sure you're energized, make sure you're exercising well, and make sure that, you know, as much as you can, you're not stressed out. So anything you need, message me. But otherwise, inshallah, I hope each and every one of you stay safe, keep us in your du'as, and inshallah, I will see you all very soon.